Hello, everyone. This is Laleh Hancock, and I just finished an interview with the Women's Symposium, and we were talking about ways to include our bodies in our lives and have a different kind of communication, communion, which also includes inviting the earth in. And one of the things that I was really reminiscent is how much we've learned we need to have all the answers, which means we need to have every step figured out before we actually create something, whether it's a business, whether it's a relationship, whether it's to be happy or for whatever it is that we've already decided. But most things physically actualize from your desire, from that initial moment of enthusiasm. So I'm curious if you weren't waiting, waiting for the right moment, waiting to have it all figured out, waiting to have all the money show up. Like if you had nothing, you had to think about the money, the time, and who's going to help you, what would you choose? Like, what is it that would actually bring you and your body joy? Most of us have thought about the ways we have joy doing something for someone else. But in this new world, more than ever, you can't hide from what you and your body require. So there is some vulnerability that needs to be there, and not vulnerability like you need to go spew it out to everyone else, but being honest with you, like no longer judging you. And just for a moment, sitting down and saying, what would I like to add to my life and living? And what would I like to contribute to the world? Because one of the things that I realized, I miss traveling. I used to travel every week. And the energy and the enthusiasm with the travel was also that my body got to experience different cultures and different lands, but also be able to gift and receive from those lands. And I am so grateful. I'm here in this incredible country. I'm in Portugal, and it's got beautiful trees and kind people, all kinds of people. And they're just different in the way that they do things from the US, different than they do from anywhere else because they're unique to themselves. But there's different frequencies and there's different energies that come with our desire to explore more. So, I was just talking about this project that I have. It's called the Earth Summit. And it really came to me from an original project called El Lugar in Costa Rica. I'm one of the ambassadors for it. And when we got started 5 years ago or so, there was a concept. There was no drawing of what the land, houses, or anything was going to be. We just knew there was this beautiful property that we wanted to honor and not abuse. We weren't going to cut one tree. We weren't going to level the land, but we were going to build a resort there and let it be this invitation and communion with the earth. And I have to thank Gary Douglas, the founder, who actually, it was his vision and it was from his book called The Place that we found the property called The Place, El Lugar in Costa Rica. And with it, just going there, how much my body relaxed. One day I wasn't feeling well, and we came, and the minute the bus actually put the tires on the gravel, my body felt amazing. I was no longer nauseous. And like this, I was better. It was this amazing healing land because it's never been abused, and the kindness that's there. And there's so many lands, no matter what's happened, that the nature wants to gift to us. And I've just been in search of other places too that can gift and contribute that. And Portugal has been that. I really believe the nature here, these amazing palm trees, they're not palm trees, pine trees are just an extension of this partnership of trees around the world. We're all oneness. A butterfly flaps its wings in Japan, something happens in Russia. There is this oneness that we be around the world. Most of us fight it, but the trees don't fight it. They actually have it. If you saw the movie Avatar, there is this oneness between all of us and the trees, and how the mother trees contribute to other trees on the land. But each tree is actually contributing to us, our bodies, our ability to breathe. It's assisting with CO2, but it's not just CO2. There's a nurture of us actually wanting to like have living energy. And so I'm just curious if you were willing not to try to figure out how it's going to get done, like the Earth Summit for next year. I just kept getting this awareness that the trees would like me to create something. And this partnership with Costa Rica trees here, and then asking more questions. And then I met someone in Panama and the jungles where Avatar was even filmed. Like there's just this communion, and if we're willing to come together, what else is possible? What if your life didn't have to look anything like your parents' life? It could if you wanted to, but like most of us measure ourselves based on what our parents did and didn't do, and only allow us that. But what if it's not about your parents? It's not about even your husband or your wife or your children or your friends. What do you know? What does your body know? And what could you be physically actualizing that's never existed, but could be a gift and contribution? And if we're willing, each of us knows so many things that are different than what other people know. And if we're really willing to let go the how, the why, all those things that are there to actually distract you, you will have a new space of exploration and creativity. But you got to be willing to be in the question, not already have the answers figured out, but like, okay, so now connect into those energies of what you're aware of. So, like, even this Earth Summit, like, what does it require today is the question I keep asking. Like, who can I talk to? Where can I go? And then I added a friend who's in Parliament to be part of that project. And then I added someone who is an amazing connector who's been in technology most of her career life. And she was one of the first female executives in Motorola. Like, you start to realize that it's not just you coming up with ideas, but your creation, what you're desiring to bring into the world, is speaking to you via ideas. And if you're willing, it could be easier, and doesn't have to take forever, it doesn't have to be pre planned. The willingness to engage with it and start to ask it questions. Like when we first started, I thought it was going to be in Portugal. I started talking to companies here about project actions for futures and forest for futures. And as we were doing that, I realized actually being in the middle of the jungle, being with all those trees and the nature hugging you, that would be a great contribution for bringing people and allowing them to contribute to being leaders of really honoring the earth and what we could be in creating not just a sustainable, but a thriving earth that continues for way beyond us, way beyond our children, way beyond the grandchildren, just allows it to be a thriving planet. So, what idea, what creation and consciousness is dancing with you and desiring to play with you if you are willing to get out of that frequency of I'm here and opened it up to truly the frequency of possibilities? What could we gift? What could we receive? if we're willing to be that space, that frequency. And truly, what is possible we've never considered before. So I wonder, would you be willing to explore? Would you be willing to come play? We have a couple of different things that are going on that are about increasing our frequency, but not just increasing. There's so many new frequencies that are desiring to actually be chosen. So many new universes. So come play. And I wonder, like you just being here, what futures did that already generate, create, and change and actualize that maybe you haven't even acknowledged yet? And what else from here? Because if we're willing to be in the question, it's this curiosity of what else, what else, what else. Okay, guys, till next time. Bye.